Hello, friends. You're watching ETHNews. I'm Daniel, and today I have a very special guest, Nick Johnson from the Ethereum name service. So, Nick, I wanted to first ask you, in your panel today, you talked about XYZ and Lux integration. Are there any other top-level domain registries that you're interested in partnering with?
So we're interested in working with pretty much anyone that wants to work with us. For the XYZ integration, it's a trustless one via DNSSEC, which means we don't actually have to work with the registrar or the registries in order to get it going. So we want to roll that out to as many top-level domains as possible, which is about 3/4 of the total, as soon as we can. And then for the .lux integration, we're happy to talk to country code top-level domains and others that want to integrate with us on a closer basis.
Do you think it's important for users to be able to choose which registrar they want to use when they register for ENS subdomains?
Absolutely. For subdomains, however, it's largely up to the owner of the domain, which registrar they use. If you're talking about .lux and .xyz and ones that integrate with DNS, then we want to make it available to as many internet registrars as possible.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. I was wondering about wallet services and dApps. I know that you've integrated with Melonport, and Gitcoin has been very instrumental in helping you guys out. Are there any other services in this space that you want to partner with?
We'd really like to make ENS ubiquitous if we can. So effectively, we want to work with all of the wallets. Part of that will be through better library support. So we've got it working in a number of underlying libraries that people build their apps on top of, which means you get basically automatic ENS support. But part of that is working with individual wallets. We've had a few that have been on board right from day one. For instance, my Ether wallet and now my crypto, MetaMask and Mist, for instance, all support ENS natively, and we want to expand that number over time as much as we can.
So with MyForWallet, MyCrypto, and other wallets and other services supporting ENS from the get-go, do you think that's been kind of the general response from the community?
The response has generally been really positive, yeah. And if we have an uphill battle, it's only because of the whole network effect thing. We need users to get wallets to want to spend the effort on it, and we need wallets to get users to want to use it and to be able to use it. So it's just a case of sort of ongoing outreach work, making the value of it apparent to all the people building the apps out there and to the users wanting to integrate. Our sort of medium-term goal is that nobody should have to deal with an Ethereum address. It should always be names, because addresses are opaque, they're easy to mistake, it's a usability nightmare.
So you mentioned the network effect, and I think that's a common term that people use to describe a potential roadblock in this space. Can you talk about any other potential roadblocks you see to further integration of the ENS?
So the network effect is definitely the biggest one. Besides that is generally the effort of getting people to having to reach out to a very large number of app developers and get them all to integrate it and make sure that they all follow the same standards, that they get the integration right, that there aren't incompatibilities, because it would be a nightmare if a name resolves to one thing on one browser and another thing on another browser. Besides that, as it grows more popular, we'll have to worry more about phishing and spam and so forth, and we're borrowing tried and true approaches from the internet for that. Chrome and others have pioneered ways of looking for deceptive domain names and so forth, and in fact MyCrypto have been very helpful helping us build out libraries to detect and deal with those. Basically, the more popular we get, the more we have to worry about people trying to make a mess for our users.
No, that's great. I think that there is definitely a problem in popularity spurring potential phishing attacks and other problems, but also it's good that popularity is increasing because it means that more people are using your service and they can see the value in that. So one last question to wrap up. I was wondering, what's your long-term vision for the ENS? I know that there's been lots of support so far, but what do you see for the future?
As I say, the medium-term goal is that nobody should have to deal with addresses. The longer-term goal is that ENS should be a foundational infrastructural building block of not just Ethereum, but of the wider internet. We want to make the unique properties of blockchain-based naming available both to all Ethereum users and also to the web as a whole when it can be useful.
No, I think that's great, and thank you so much for your good work for the ENS. Well, that's it, folks. This was Nick Johnson from the Ethereum name service. I'm Daniel, and we'll catch you next time at ETHNews.com.